I knew I was in trouble the moment she smiled at me. Not a normal smile. The kind of smile that says, I see you, the real you, and I know exactly what you need. I'm Jessica Torres, 28 years old, correctional officer at Riverside Prison for 3 years. I thought I knew every game inmates played: manipulation, intimidation, seduction. I'd seen it all, but I'd never met anyone like Valentina Cruz. She walked into C Block on a Monday morning. Intake processing, standard procedure. I was doing the paperwork when she came in, escorted from county jail. The first thing I noticed was how she moved. Not like most new inmates. No fear, no anger, no defiance. Just this calm, almost graceful way of walking, like she was arriving at a hotel instead of a prison. Valentina Cruz. I read from her file: fraud, identity theft, embezzlement. For years. She looked at me when I said her name. Really looked at me. Dark eyes that seemed to understand more than they should. That's me, Officer Torres. The way she said my name made something flutter in my chest. Professional, respectful, but somehow intimate. I assigned her to cell 14, second tier, gave her the standard orientation about rules, schedules, expectations. She listened carefully, asked intelligent questions, thanked me politely. As she walked away with her bedding and orange jumpsuit, she glanced back once. That smile again, like we shared a secret I didn't know about yet. The first week, she was a model inmate. Quiet, kept to herself, read constantly. But I noticed her watching me. During count, during rec time, during meals. Not obviously, not creepily. Just these moments where our eyes would meet, and she'd hold my gaze for a beat longer than normal before looking away. Week 2, she started talking to me. Officer Torres, could I request some different books from the library? I've already finished these. That was fast. What kind of books do you like? Psychology, mostly. Human behavior. What makes people do the things they do? She tilted her head slightly. Don't you ever wonder about that? Why people make the choices they make? It was an innocent question, but the way she asked it felt loaded. Sometimes, I said carefully, I think about it constantly. She smiled. Like you, for instance. Why did you become a prison guard? You don't seem like the type. There's a type. Most guards either love the power or need the job. You're neither. So I'm curious. No inmate had ever asked me that before. Most didn't care. I wanted to make a difference. Change the system from inside. Noble. She didn't say it mockingly. She sounded genuine. And has it worked? Are you changing anything? The honest answer was no. But I wasn't about to admit that to an inmate. I do my best to treat people with dignity. I've noticed her voice dropped slightly. That's rare. Thank you. The gratitude in her voice felt real, unguarded. For just a moment, I forgot she was an inmate and I was a guard. We were just two women having a conversation. I caught myself. You're welcome, Cruz. Let me know what books you want. As I walked away, I felt her eyes on my back. And I liked it. That's when I knew this was dangerous. Week 3, the conversations got longer, deeper. Valentina had a way of asking questions that made me actually think about my answers, about my life, my choices, my loneliness. Because that's what she'd figured out about me. I was lonely, 28, single, family who didn't approve of my career. I went home every night to an empty apartment. No close friends who understood this job. Just me and the silence. Somehow Valentina knew. Maybe she saw it in my eyes. Maybe she just read people well. That's probably how she'd pulled off fraud for so long. You seem tired today, Officer Torres, she said one evening during count. Long shift. That's not what I mean. She was sitting on her bunk, watching me through the cell door window. You look tired in your soul. like you're carrying something heavy. No one had ever said anything like that to me. The observation was so accurate, it made my throat tight. I'm fine, Cruz. Of course. You have to be, right? You're the guard. You have to be strong, professional, in control. She paused. But what happens when you go home? Who takes care of you? I should have ended the conversation right there. Should have moved on to the next cell. But I didn't. Nobody, I said quietly. I take care of myself. That sounds exhausting. It was. God, it was so exhausting. And the fact that she understood that she saw it, made something crack open inside me. I should finish rounds. I said, my voice not quite steady. Of course. But Jessica. She'd never used my first name before. If you ever need someone to just listen, I'm here. I know that sounds strange, given the circumstances, but I mean it. I walked away without answering. But that night, alone in my apartment, I thought about what she'd said, about being seen, about being cared for, about Valentina. Week 4. I started looking forward to my shifts, started caring about how I looked, wearing my hair down, sometimes instead of the tight regulation bun. Started finding reasons to walk past cell 14 more often than necessary. Valentina noticed everything. Your hair looks beautiful down like that, she said one day. You should wear it that way more often. It's not regulation. Rules. She smiled softly. Sometimes I think rules exist to protect us from the things we actually want. That's a dangerous way of thinking. Is it? Or is it just honest? She moved closer to the cell door. We were separated by bars and policies and the fundamental power imbalance of guard and inmate, but it felt like less distance than that. Can I tell you something, Jessica? My first name again. I should have corrected her. I didn't. What? These 4 weeks getting to know you, talking with you, they've been the most human I've felt since I got here. Maybe the most human I've felt in years. And I think you feel it too. This connection. My heart was pounding. Cruz, this isn't appropriate. I know. I know all the reasons why this is wrong. You're the guard, I'm the inmate. There are rules, boundaries, all of it, but doesn't it get exhausting? Pretending we don't feel what we feel. I don't feel anything. I lied. She looked at me with such understanding it hurt. Okay, if that's what you need to tell yourself, okay, but I'm not going anywhere, and neither is this feeling. I left quickly, went home, lay in bed staring at the ceiling. She was right. I did feel it, this pull toward her, this connection that shouldn't exist, but did. I was in so much trouble. Week 5. I tried to maintain distance, kept conversations brief, professional, avoided eye contact, sent other officers to handle her cell checks when I could. Valentina didn't push. She respected the space I was trying to create. But every time I saw her, the pull was still there, stronger even for being denied. Friday night, late shift. The prison was quiet. I was doing rounds, determined to treat cell 14 like any other cell. Quick check, move on, no conversation. But when I looked through the window, Valentina was standing right at the door, waiting. Can we talk? She asked quietly. Please, just for a minute. I should have said no. About what? About why you're avoiding me. I'm not. You are. And I understand. I'm making you uncomfortable. I'm making you feel things you don't want to feel. So I'll stop. I'll keep my distance. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. The apology surprised me. For what? For seeing you. For noticing that you're lonely and kind and beautiful and completely wasted in this place. For making you aware of it. That wasn't fair of me. Beautiful. She called me beautiful. Valentina. I know. Rules. Boundaries. I get it. She smiled sadly. But can I ask for one thing? Just one small thing, and then I'll leave you alone. I knew I should walk away. What? Come into my cell. Just for 5 minutes. I want to show you something. And then, if you want to pretend we never had these conversations, never felt this connection, I'll respect that. I promise. Every alarm in my head was screaming no. This was a setup, a manipulation, exactly the kind of game inmates played. But I didn't believe that. Not with Valentina. I believed she was being honest, which was somehow more dangerous. I can't do that. You can. You're the guard. You have the keys. You do cell inspections all the time. She paused. I'm not asking you to do anything wrong, just to give me 5 minutes. Please, Jessica. My hand was on my keys before I'd consciously decided. The sound of the lock turning was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. I stepped inside cell 14. Valentina stepped back, giving me space. Thank you. The cell was small, basic. 2 bunks, a toilet, a small desk. Her cellmate was on a work detail. We were alone. The door was still open. I'd made sure of that. What did you want to show me? I asked, my voice unsteady. She walked to her desk and picked up a worn notebook. I've been writing. Poetry, stories. It helps me process things. I wanted to read you something, if that's okay. This felt safer. Just listening to poetry. Okay. She opened the notebook. Her voice, when she read, was beautiful. The Spanish flowing like music. The poem was about isolation, about seeing someone across an impossible distance, about the cruelty of connection that can never be fulfilled. It was about me. About us. When she finished, I couldn't speak. I needed you to know, she said softly, that this is real. What I feel for you is real. Not a game, not manipulation. Just real. And I think what you feel is real too. Valentina, we can't. I know we can't. She moved slightly closer, not threatening, just close enough that I could smell the institutional soap on her skin. I know all the reasons why, but for just these 5 minutes, in this cell, can we stop pretending? Can we just be honest? I should have left, should have locked the door behind me and never come back, should have requested a transfer. Instead, I said, yes. I think about you constantly, Valentina said. Every morning when you start your shift, every time you walk past my cell, every night when you leave. You're the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last thing before I sleep. Valentina, I know you think about me too. I can see it in your eyes. The way you look at me when you think I'm not paying attention. The way your breath catches when we accidentally get too close. She was right. All of it was true. This is impossible, I whispered. Most beautiful things are. She was closer now. We were a foot apart, maybe less. I'm not asking for forever. I'm not asking for anything that will get you in trouble. I just need you to know that you're not alone in this. That what you're feeling, I'm feeling it too. What am I feeling? My voice came out barely audible. That for the first time in a long time, someone really sees you, understands you, makes you feel like you matter. Her voice dropped. That when you're with me, even in these brief moments, you feel more alive than you have in years. I was crying. When had I started crying? I can't do this, I said, but I didn't move. Then don't. Valentina lifted her hand slowly, giving me time to pull away. Her fingers brushed my cheek, wiping away a tear. Just let yourself feel it. For these few minutes, you can walk away after. Go back to being Officer Torres. But right now, just be Jessica, the woman who's tired of being strong all the time, the woman who deserves to be cared for. Her touch was so gentle, so careful, nothing forceful or demanding, just tender. I closed my eyes. This is wrong. I know. Her thumb traced along my jaw. Does it feel wrong? It felt like the most right thing in the world. I opened my eyes. She was so close. Dark eyes full of warmth and understanding and desire. Valentina, I know. You need to leave. To be professional. To protect yourself. She dropped her hand. So go. I won't stop you. But she didn't step back. And neither did I. One more minute, I heard myself say. She smiled. One more minute. We stood there, inches apart, both of us breathing too fast. Not touching anymore, but the air between us felt electric. This won't work, I said, even if we wanted it to. I'm a guard, you're an inmate. It's impossible. Nothing is impossible, just complicated. She tilted her head. But you're right. We both have too much to lose. So we'll walk away from this. We'll go back to our roles. Guard and inmate. Professional distance. Yes. But before we do, she paused. Can I ask you something? What? If things were different, if we'd met somewhere else, would you want this? Would you want me? I should have lied. Should have said no, maintained the boundary, protected myself. But I was so tired of lying. Yes, I whispered. Her smile was radiant. That's all I needed to know. We stood there for another moment, memorizing each other's faces. Then I stepped back, stepped out of the cell, locked the door behind me. Thank you, Valentina said through the bars, for being honest, for giving me those 5 minutes. It can't happen again. I know. We have to maintain boundaries. I know. This was a mistake. Was it? She smiled gently. Or was it the first honest thing either of us has done in months? I walked away without answering. That was 3 weeks ago. Since then, I've kept my distance. Professional, brief interactions. No more long conversations, no more cell visits. Everything by the book. But every time I walk past cell 14, our eyes meet. And in those brief seconds, we both remember. Those 5 minutes when we dropped the masks and told the truth. I still think about her constantly. Still feel that pull. Still wonder what would happen if I went back to that cell. If I allowed myself to feel what I'm feeling. But I don't. Because I'm the guard. She's the inmate. And some lines, once crossed, destroy everything. So I do my job. I go home alone. I lie in bed and replay those 5 minutes over and over. And I wonder if Valentina does the same. Sometimes during late night rounds, I'll pause outside cell 14, just for a second. And sometimes she's awake, standing at the door. We don't speak. We just look at each other through the bars. And in those moments, I understand what she meant. This is real. This connection, this feeling, this impossible thing between us. It's real, even if we can never act on it. Even if those 5 minutes are all we ever get. Even if this is the most painful kind of connection, one that exists but can never be fulfilled. I know now what Valentina was trying to tell me. That being seen, really seen by someone who understands you, that's rare. Precious. Worth cherishing, even if it's complicated, even if it's impossible. She seduced me, not with manipulation or games, but with honesty, with seeing me, with making me feel, for the first time in years, that I mattered to someone. And now I carry that with me. This secret knowledge that somewhere in C Block, in cell 14, there's someone who knows the real me, who cares about the real me. It's torture, and it's beautiful, and I don't know which feeling is stronger. All I know is that Valentina Cruz changed something in me that can't be unchanged. And whether that's a gift or a curse, I still haven't figured out. Maybe it's both. Maybe that's what all profound connections are. Equal parts blessing and tragedy. And maybe that's okay.